anyways, we had a quick conversation for you today. Life imitating art and vice versa. When I say this, what comes to mind is YNW Melly. For some that don't know, this is a young Florida rapper. I think this little idiot's like 19, 20. He's 19 or 20. And he just got arrested for what happened was there was a shooting of two of his best friends. And the way the shooting was set up, it was a drive-by shooting when they died. Now, months later, he gets arrested because the police find out that, through investigation, that it wasn't a drive-by shooting. Forensics show that YNW Melly was in the back of the whip. He shot one friend, and then he shot the other. And from there, I can't believe I'm saying this.
Why doesn't that equate to a drive-by shooting? You were driving by and shooting people, right?
Yes, but you don't drive by and shoot the people that you're driving by and shooting with.
So usually these
it was a murder in a car.
Oh, they were in the car.
They were in the same car.
They were in the car. Holy shit.
Driver.
And they just tossed them out?
Well, but here's another thing. The second part was they drove around with the bodies in the car for a little bit. They found a place and they shot up the rest of the car.
This is insane.
To make it seem like it was a drive-by shooting. And then they drove the car to the hospital. And then from there, you know, with media, he's like, oh, they shot my boys. I just got the bad news and whatnot. But the forensics didn't match. The bullet hole. This is
completely taken on something else. We didn't really cover this.
Oh yeah, this kid's done. This kid's done. This kid's done.
Regardless, he was done. But I figured it was, hey, they're my boys, but fuck them. Something went down where they just had a follow. He drove by and shoot him. But this shit was like, okay.
No. There was no drive by.
Like I was there.
Yeah, he shot them. He was in the back, the left seat. There's one in the driver's seat. There's one in the passenger seat. Bang, bang. This is what forensics is showing.
Right. So
yeah.
Okay.
So, anyways,
you didn't anticipate forensic, huh?
I anticipate, but I mean, you just got to be a young moron. I mean, shit, even like criminal law and order, like criminal intent, like at least seeing that shit. But anyways, so he does this. They go to the spot, they shoot up the car to make it look like a drive-by, and then from there, they bring him to the hospital. The gentlemen were dead on scene and whatnot. And then after that, he gets arrested because after all this evidence comes up, they arrest him. So now with the guns and whatnot, and they placed with video camera, that he was also charged into it was a shooting in broad daylight. This was another time, and a cop got hit from a stray bullet.
Oh, you got capital charges
and
now.
Died.
He's done.
Dude.
Holy shit.
So, life. Imitating
Death sentence.
Art. And
life.
Two of his songs, they're not platinum. I don't even think they're gold yet, but they're going up. Mind on My Murder. Murder on My Mind. The video is him holding his boy. It's like I feel like he did the shit.
The sick part is these songs got bigger after he got arrested for this shit, right?
No, they were buzzing. They're probably getting bigger because he got arrested like maybe a week and a half ago. So this is what you have, and it fucking kills me, man. Like these motherfuckers, and they're not like making the limelight, but it's black. It's not the only black figure you see out there, and I'm bringing this back to it because this is what I live. This is what I see. I feel like, fuck, man, this is the shit that's out here. It's not necessarily representing me as a whole. I know that. Within my circle, I can control that. But within the fucking outside circle, you get these YNW Melly motherfuckers. Like, this is life imitating art, art imitating life. And how many other dumb motherfuckers that you have that won't even make it as far as he did, which he didn't make it that far at all.
Right.
It's a fucking drove. It's a factory of these motherfuckers continuously. I mean,
you don't know about a factory. I mean, but it happens more than it should. Any other?
It's even fucking going into the white kids too.
Sure, absolutely.
Shit.
Absolutely.
I mean, not to say it's a bad thing, Eminem. You got great shit that came from the culture, man.
Oh.
It was something.
The whole thing with this, with hip hop, or life imitating art. I mean, I don't think any other form of art does it better than hip hop. And I don't.
Yeah, but it's mostly negative.
It's very negative. And the tragedy is, a lot of it, I feel like, is let's perpetuate it by making it real because we didn't live what we're saying. It was they almost push it. They almost didn't do it, but they talked about it, and then it brought them to the point where let's do it. You think about it, Tupac was never arrested when he was an actor. He was an actor first, and then became a rapper, and then got all the bullshit thrown at him.
Yeah, but I mean, he
Was
was an affront to
he was
society. Well, most motherfuckers, especially in America, the white folks are like, well, it's just another nigga on the microphone.
Well, I think that's the big problem. That's why I'm getting into staying with hip hop because it is the one part.
It's a minstrel song.
What is the word? I fucked it up. Minstrel. Minstrel.
Yeah.
Not menstrual. Minstrel.
Yeah.
And you said that a couple weeks ago, and I think it's pretty telling the fact that it is because it comes down to what sells. What are white kids going to pick up fucking gospel music? Are white kids going to pick up Charlie Parker and shit like that?
Ooh.
It's like what they're getting is this shit, and it's like they're and as a white kid that grew up on rap, I knew that wasn't it for black culture, but I was inundated with that. I had enough sense to realize that's what it was. My only ignorant thinking was to make it in hip hop, you have to have that background, white or black, and it's like that's the problem now. It's like people in hip hop are voicing their problems with what's going on in society and want to be leaders because now they're in a position of power, which is fine. We just talked about the evolution and stuff, but sometimes, no matter the race, look at Eminem when he did the whole Trump thing. Dude, you're not the best. You're not the best representative to be speaking out against injustices and shit like that. You're a flawed dude. T.I., Snoop, and I hate to say it because I do believe in evolution of people, but it's like
there's evolution.
The perpetuation of some bullshit.
There's evolution, but
really
there are
tough.
people that did make those sacrifices, that didn't say the wrong thing at the wrong time because they knew one day in the future I might have to be tasked with answering these questions about my sketchy past.
And a lot of those fuckers don't sell.
They
Lupe
don't.
Fiasco. The shit I sent you last night.
Yeah, but that's the system, right? So at the end of the day, if you know that, then it's like you're gonna take the barrage like Eminem. You're gonna get criticized. You get criticized. Like so what of it? But like at the end of the day, yeah, it's not them. It's not what they see. But what are you gonna fucking answer to everybody's fucking critique on you?
I think there was more to the Eminem thing, Mike. I think which is good, which goes back to get real crazy. Malcolm X, we've talked about a long time. We know how the conservative people view the black man, but be careful of the liberal white man that wants to speak for you. And I think that's what was kind of blew up in M's face was like, hey man, you got a bunch of brothers standing behind you.
And that's the thing.
It just didn't mesh well.
Yeah.
And it's like, but then you have
that's how sad it is. That's how sad it is. It was just a visual. All that was still there, the setup and the camera. But if he did it in a different way, it's the same shit.
The skill of rap was there.
If he would, let's say if he was in the background and he had a bunch of young new black little motherfuckers doing their shit, it would look a little bit better. And then he comes in the middle or whatever, he does something, but he didn't. It came in that way, but it's still the same energy. I like wrong messenger.
Better, yeah. If he was more on that shit prior, maybe he'd have been a better messenger. But nobody may have wanted to listen either at the same time. But it's like I think,
and the freestyle was kind of whack. I mean, it was not whack, but it was off. It's like it wasn't one of his best.
Yeah.
So I mean, we went from life imitating culture to ended up talking about Eminem.
Well, let's get back to a guy. Well, let's get back to the topic at hand. Lupe Fiasco.
Yeah.
Is not a street dude, but he's from one of the most revered cities right now.
It's not what sells, and it's not just what sells, but it's not what these motherfuckers
and
want.
It's not just,
these motherfuckers want the Migos.
Kendrick
and it's not just the hood motherfuckers. It's just the regular. I don't mind listening to that bullshit every now and then. And it's the Rich, it doesn't matter. This is where they just go in regards to media. They all across. It's that bullshit, that negativity, and then you have the drones where you have Lupe still survives. He touring, man, touring for all these
Because he ain't
motherfuckers.
sell.
What?
He doesn't sell.
No, Lupe.
But the thing
no,
with Lupe,
he still has a small following though. He's got his money.
The thing with Lupe, the funny thing, what I like about Lupe and other Chicago rappers, like that's the livest area you hear about now. You know, this is the murder capita right now, right? You got Kanye, Lupe, Common, right?
Kanye,
Chance the Rapper. Chance the Rapper's father worked for Barack Obama. Vic Mensa's parents were doctors. You have what I think that's cool because that almost breaks the mold. It almost breaks the mold. And Lupe doesn't sell, but these other guys clearly do sell. But Lupe's content was even more cleaner than them. You know, he had a song about the negative connotations of the word bitch. I can't believe we have to have a song about that. But whatever. But like his message has always been on that point. And I think it's not only that he has a good message, he's a great rapper, a great storyteller, this and that. And when he addressed Offset the other day, he did it in the most articulate way ever. And it's like, that's what hip hop needs almost. You know, it's just like,
unfortunately,
I don't know if it needs it, but it would be nice if it had it.
Yeah, that's the thing. And unfortunately, what people want now is the battle of the back and forth. They don't want Lupe said something. They wanted Lupe to be like, man, fuck these young motherfuckers, all this bullshit, and to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. This is what they're looking for.
You know, it's sad though. They don't want art for it. They don't want Offset to come out with a diss record with Lupe and Lupe to have a diss record against Offset. That's another thing. It's like they tweet about it. It's like they don't have record. That's another thing. It's like, well, that's a big part of hip hop culture is the back and forth and who's got the talent.
Yeah, that's that battle rap shit. I mean, it's there, but those guys, they're not doing it.
The majority of battle rap is
and that's
kids now too.
That's the most petty things. Even to tweet about it is even worse, but to make a whole song about it, that's
apathetic walk away. Why should we hold rappers accountable for tweeting petty shit when the president of the United States does it?
Interesting one way to look at it.
We'll leave me hanging here. Cheers to that.
Oh, is that what you're doing?
I'm empty though. So
I thought you were like dropping the mic. I thought you were dropping the mic on the can, but okay.
What else?
Apathetic walk away on my end is that this. All right, so this horse, this carriage, if it has a driver, we can't see him. Not on some God shit, like the strings are just too far for us to see who's behind the curtain. And we're going. With this information in regards to media and hip hop, life imitating art, it's just bullshit. It's not going to end and it's going to continue until it gets to, I guess, some point, some crook. So it doesn't matter. I still have to be in it. I still have to, take care of my shit and do this Lords of Apathy so we can get the big bucks and then go to the Illuminati meetings and whatnot.
And take baths.
No, I was going to say no baths, but then you went to the baths. But my apathetic takeaway is it doesn't matter. Because at this point, whichever way we get to the end of the movie, I still have to go through every fucking scene. So why not make the best of every scene and not give a fuck about the whole